So you want to start a business. Everyone's on the hunt for that one perfect killer idea, right? But what if I told you that the most important step, the one that really matters, happens before you even think about an idea? It's a step that can mean the difference between loving what you do and, well, building a prison for yourself. And get this, a whopping 99% of people who start a business, they skip this part entirely. They get all excited about an idea, they dive in head first, and then, a couple of years later, they realize that even if it's kind of working, they've accidentally built something they can't stand. And that's the real danger here. See, this isn't about just avoiding failure. The real nightmare is succeeding at something that makes you miserable. I mean, what happens when you build a profitable company that you secretly hate running? That's the exact problem we're going to tackle. This brings us straight to what you could call the founder's dilemma. It's that huge risk of pouring all your time, your money, your passion into a business that just doesn't fit the life you actually want to live. Just let that sink in for a second. Your biggest risk isn't that you'll fail. It's that you might actually succeed at building the wrong thing. You build this gilded cage that looks amazing from the outside, but you're trapped and unhappy on the inside because it was never designed for you. So how do we avoid this trap? Well, the solution is actually way simpler than you'd think. It all starts with a little worksheet, basically just 5 critical questions you need to answer before you even start brainstorming ideas. Okay, first question. Now, the gut reaction here for most people is huge, as big as possible. But I want you to really think about that. What does huge actually look like day to day? What does that mean for your life? I mean, do you really, truly want to manage thousands of people? Or would you actually be happier with a small, tight-knit team of 10? Or hey, maybe it's just you, a one-person shop, giving you complete and total freedom. You know, sometimes a smaller, more achievable goal leads to way more happiness. All right, next up, money. And you've got to be brutally honest with yourself here. Forget the billion-dollar headlines. What amount of income would make you personally feel happy, secure, and successful? And as you can see, there's a whole spectrum of what success can look like. Maybe you just need a side hustle to cover some fun stuff. That's beer money. Or maybe you need it to cover rent or completely replace your salary. And sure, maybe you really are going for the millions. All of these are totally valid, but knowing your target number changes the kind of business you should be building. Okay, this one is absolutely crucial. Your time is the one thing you can't get back. So if you've got a full-time job, a family, you have to be realistic. Can you honestly put in 60 hours a week? Or is something like 5 to 10 hours on the weekend a more truthful answer? Because your answer here is going to change everything. Now let's talk about your financial runway. Some businesses, like a small online shop, they can start making money pretty fast. But others, like a big tech startup, could take years, if ever, to see a single dollar in profit. How long can you afford to wait before you need that business to start paying you back? And the final question is all about the long game. Are you thinking of this as a short-term thing, something to pay the bills and then move on? Or are you trying to build your life's work, a legacy that you'll be working on for decades to come? There's no right or wrong answer, but it's a vital piece of your personal plan. Okay, so once you've really thought through these 5 questions, you're going to start seeing a pattern. Your answers are going to naturally point you down one of 2 main paths. Either you're building a high-growth startup or you're building a sustainable lifestyle business. And this chart breaks down the difference perfectly. A lifestyle business is designed to support your life. You want to spend as little time as needed for it to pay for what you want. A startup, on the other hand, is an all-in, swing-for-the-fences kind of bet. It consumes your life, and profit might be years away. Knowing which game you're actually playing is everything. So, here's the key. Once you've used those questions to figure out the shape of the business you want, the rules of the game, so to speak, the next logical step is to find the substance. How do you find an idea that actually fits inside the box you just built? This is where a simple tool like the MyFit Quadrant comes in handy. It helps you find that perfect sweet spot where your passions, your skills, your actual experience, and a real market opportunity all overlap. The goal is to find an idea that sits right in the middle of all 4. So let's bring it all home. This whole process, it isn't just some random exercise. When you answer these questions honestly, you're creating your own personal blueprint for a business that's custom built to serve your life and your goals. And that right there, that's the big takeaway. The world is absolutely packed with great ideas. The real challenge, and frankly, the secret to being happy in the long run,
is to find the one that's great for you. It has to fit your life, not just the market.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to really chew on. Before you do anything else, before you buy a domain, before you write a line of code, just stop and ask yourself this one question. Seriously, the answer might just change your entire journey.